Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we're going to pull on the Sage of Khadein banner. I don't know if I said that correctly, I probably butchered it, but there are some characters that I really want to get on this banner today. So we will talk about this banner as we go along, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I think that the plan for today is going to be to pull reds and maybe some blues. I don't have a super great plan, but I do know that the character that I want the most by far is the duo. I was so excited when I saw their reveal. I love Lind and I love Sarah, and I think that they are the perfect pair. I think that Lind was a great choice for a representative for the banner. The Lind that I have, like the base one, is really not very highly merged. Like, I wish I could have her at plus 10, but she almost never comes home. And as for Sarah, I actually have a pretty decently merged one, and on the Tempest Trials banner, she came home for free. So I'm really hoping that it'll kind of be the same with the duo, and they can come home quickly, because they are who I want the most by far. So if we get to 40 and we don't get anything, there is no question we will definitely take them. But there is some other stuff that I would like on the banner, so I'm hoping that we can get a little bit of the other characters too. But aside from the duo, I think that another great choice for the banner is Byleth. I will say that I do like the design for female Byleth a little bit more than male. However, he is voiced by the wonderful Zach Aguilar, and I just love everything that he does, so I'm really happy to see him more in Fae. And I think that he's a very powerful 4-star character. I think that he's a great merge project for people that want to do that. I'm not going to do that, but I would love to get like 1 or 2 copies. That would be really nice. I think he'll be very useful. And so I think that blue is probably a good choice if we don't have any reds. But I also don't want him to break my pity. So we'll just see how it goes. But as for the other 2 characters that we have on the banner, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. And I feel like I have to be honest, and I don't want to detract from anybody's excitement about the characters on the banner, but I was not personally happy with the other choices, and it's definitely a me problem. I totally get why people are excited, but whenever it comes to FE7, I'm always looking for characters that we don't have yet that I really want, like Oswin, or for characters that don't have alts to finally get an alt. And in this case, we have several Ninos, even though I totally get it, people love Nino. And we now have 3 Ursulas, but we don't have a single alt for like Sarah or Rebecca, Raven, Lucius. There are so many. And I know that Oswin would totally not fit on this banner, but it's like totally my own issue that whenever we get an FE7 banner and we don't get the characters that I'm looking for, I get a little bit sad. So it's super silly. So I don't think that we'll be pulling too many greens today. I have no attachment to Ursula as a character. However, she does have good fodder, so I would not be mad if we got one. And as for Nino, I've talked about this before. I do not care for Nino as a character. However, I will not be mad if she shows up because she has some amazing fodder. Like, I'll actually be happy if I see her because I do need attack speed finish for my Sarah. And now that I say that, I feel like I should specify it's the pink-haired one with the pigtails. I really want to get that skill for her. It's super rare. And so I'd love to see a Nino or 2. And so with all that said, I think we've covered all of the characters on the banner. And there are a couple of other things that I wanted to touch on really quick. One of those being the Barracks Tour. I didn't look at the calendar for Fae when I was talking about the Barracks Tour, so this banner was actually kind of a surprise for me. So I've gotten a ton of work done on the Barracks Tour. It is super long, just be forewarned. I should probably be a little bit ashamed about how long it is for a Barracks Tour. But it's almost done, and I'll hopefully have that out sometime soon. And the one other thing that I quickly wanted to touch on is our next Resplendent, because I was so beyond excited when I saw Female Corn was going to be our next one. I think that she was probably the most anticipated Resplendent that I was waiting for. I feel like her base art just never really fit her, and mine is plus 10, and I gave her Arcane Grima a while back, and now I'm just so happy that she has the art that like really truly fits her. It is so beautiful and detailed, and I hope that all you other Corrin fans are just as excited. And so I think that that is everything that I wanted to discuss. And so we can probably go ahead and answer our viewer questions now. And as always, if I did not get to your question, I am so sorry. I will try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you want to ask me, just leave it in the comments with #question, and I will put your question on my list. So our first question today comes from Sovinar. And they ask, who would you like to vote for A Hero Rises 2023? And who would you like as the next starring character for the Fae Christmas Takeover? Okay, so for A Hero Rises, if I could have like my own perfectly selfish pick that nobody would ever pick, I would go for Legendary Xander because I want merges and I love him. However, I absolutely know that he is not going to win. I really think that this year they're going to go for red units. It actually makes sense because there are a lot of really strong characters in red. So I personally think that it's going to be a lot of red characters like we had the Green Dream last year. So if I had to pick a red character, I think that I would personally choose Duo Crom. Also for kind of selfish reasons, I love Crom. And I absolutely love that unit. They are so, so powerful. And so that would be my personal choice. But in terms of what I think will actually happen, I think that we're going to end up with Summer Edelgard. And while it's not a character that I have any attachment to, she does have good fodder, so I would not be mad about that either. So hopefully we get some good choices this year for a banner. But yes, Xander or Duo Crom would be my choice. And as for your second question about the Fae Takeover, I think that I'd probably say that Hector would be a great choice for next year. He's a character that I've been wanting to be on a Christmas banner with his beard. I think it'd be perfect, but we've never gotten it. But I think that he would be a great choice and very fun for a takeover. But thank you for those great questions. And let's go ahead and answer our next one. And this comes from Fang Justice. And they ask, what was your favorite banner of 2022 and what was your least favorite banner of 2022? Oh gosh. So there were a lot that I really enjoyed this past year. But there are probably two that stand out the most for me. The first one being Legendary Xander. Like the banner itself was not a good one in terms of the characters that he was sharing with, but he was probably my most favorite character from the entire year. So I would say his. And the other one where I actually loved a lot of the characters on the banner was the summer banner with Claude. There were just so many great choices. I loved Claude, and Dimitri's art was amazing, and I love Micaiah, and we got Alencia for free. So it was just one of the best banners I think that I've ever had. And so I think that both of those would be my choices for my favorites. And as for my least favorite, there weren't too many that I was very disappointed with. But I think that I would probably say the regular FE7 banner. And it's for my totally stupid reason that I wanted to see Oswin and he wasn't there and I was salty. So it wasn't a bad banner by any means, just not what I was looking for. So I think that would be my answer. But thank you for that great question. Okay, Smoke, please, please, please be the duo. It's Morgan. Oh gosh, we really haven't gotten too much so far, but things can always turn around. We're just going to stay positive. And let's go ahead and answer our next question. And this next question comes from Talathiel. And they ask, what are your thoughts on the Binding Worlds Forma? Oh gosh, I have a lot of thoughts about that. I think that in theory, it is a great idea, but in practice, and maybe this was just my experience, it was not as great as I thought it was going to be. Mainly because I almost never saw my friends' units. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just bad RNG, maybe it was my luck, but for the most part, I got a bunch of Kirans that did not have built up characters. And I very occasionally saw my friends' units or units that I was looking for, but for the most part, there were a lot of underwhelming, unbuilt units. And if you're going to actually get the pack, I feel it has to be worth your time and money. And so I don't know. I just feel there are a lot of things that could be improved to make it worth people's money. I think that maybe they could increase the frequency that we see friends' units. Or I don't know, maybe some sort of reroll option. That would be so, so nice because there was one character in particular that I was looking for and it took me a very long time to find them. It was very, very frustrating. And so while I think it's a great idea in theory, there are definitely things. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I am so excited that they came home. They're adorable. Okay, let's check IVs. Oh my goodness, they are plus speed. That is absolutely amazing. So, I think that we should probably go ahead and pull at least the blues with that 4.25. But thank you so much, Talathiel, for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one. And oh my goodness, I am so glad that we pulled this blue. I'm so excited to see him. Okay, let's check IVs. Oh my goodness, he is plus attack. That is absolutely amazing. So I feel we should just pull the rest of these. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it. But let's go ahead and answer our next question. And this comes from Deanna M176. And they ask, what alt would you like to see for Sylvain, Felix, and Mercedes? And which banners would you like to see in the future that have your favorite characters? And finally, what are your thoughts on 3 Hopes and 3 Houses? And do you think that they made a good connection? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the characters. Oh my gosh. Ooh, 5-star. Oh my gosh, this is a very lucky circle. Okay, let's check this one. And he is minus attack, but that is going to be a merge. Super happy with that. And we have to pull this blue. But getting back to this very lucky question from Deanna, I think we can start with Sylvain. And I would love for him to get a Valentine's alt. I feel like that would fit him super well. Oh my gosh, Micaiah. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's like one of the best 4-star specials I could possibly get. That is amazing. Okay, let's check IVs. Holy smoke, she's plus attack. I feel like this is like one of the most blessed circles I've ever had. But getting back to this incredibly lucky question from Deanna, I was saying that I would love to see Sylvain get a Valentine's alt. I feel like it would totally fit him. And then for Felix, I will literally take any Felix that they give me. I would love to see his regular form, but I think that maybe a ninja alt would be nice for him. And then for Mercedes, I would love to see her get like a picnic alt if they ever bring that back. And then for the next part of your question about the banners that I'd like to see with my favorites, I would say that Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I'm always hoping for my favorites. Oh my gosh, we got another one. Oh my goodness, this is an incredibly lucky question. Okay, let's check this one. And they are plus attack, oh my gosh. So I don't know which one I'm going to merge into. That's like a really good problem to have. But getting back to Deanna's question, I was saying that Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I'm always hoping for my favorites. So seeing like Xander, Crom, Claude, Alencia, Sarah, all of those characters, that would be super, super amazing. But in addition to that, I would love to see a Dancer La Rochelle if they ever bring back like a full Dancer banner, because I love dancers and La Rochelle is my favorite. And so those are some of the ones that I always hope for. And then for the last part of your question about 3 Hopes and 3 Houses, I love 3 Houses. I spent like a million hours playing that game. I had a ton of fun with it, but I do not feel the same way about 3 Hopes. I just did not enjoy my experience with that, partly because I don't really like Warriors games, like the gameplay all that much, but also the story was not good. Oh, it's Shez. I think she heard me talking about the game. I also didn't really appreciate Shez all that much either. So loved 3 Houses, not so much 3 Hopes, and yeah, I think that that would be my answer. But thank you again, Deanna, because that was a super, super lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer another one. And this comes from Johnny Game Show 56. And they ask, it seems like ascended units lean more towards heroic ideals and rearm units are more toward villain types. So are there any villain characters that you would like to see rearmed? So I would say absolutely. Although I don't usually love villain characters, there are a few that I very much enjoy. And I feel like we should pull these greens, why not? And so the character that I want to see the most is probably Leon. He is my favorite villain in the entire series. I find him very sympathetic, and I'd love to see him get another form. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. You know what? I absolutely love Renix, so this is amazing for me. Okay, let's check IVs. And he is plus speed. Oh my gosh. So let's go ahead and pull this last green, and to finish up this question from Johnny, Leon would be my #1 choice, but I would also love to see Zephiel in the future. But thank you again for that super lucky question. And we end with a Barst. All right, so let's go ahead and back out, and we can go ahead and spark. And I know this seems really strange, but I think that we should take Nino. I really want that skill for my Sarah. Oh gosh, I am so happy that we're able to get that skill for Sarah, and I'm also so sorry to the Nino fans. And we get the thing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end things here. You know, we had kind of a slow start, but things like totally turned around, and I am so happy with how this went. And if you are pulling on this banner, I truly hope that you are just as lucky. I did want to say a huge thank you to the people that submitted questions. I always appreciate your support, and hopefully I'll have that barracks tour out for you guys soon. So as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.